that clearly enough, and that latter part is why I'm bringing this up. We're talking about a sort of an independent redevelopment agency, and you folks at the dais have looked into this, but as some of the speakers have already said, the problem is that the current proposal doesn't clearly define exactly what might be needed to guarantee that we don't end up in a horrendous bond situation if somebody were to take it to court, as was done in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Richard Sweeney, 313 Sutton's Lane. I'm employed by a redevelopment authority. I'd rather not say which one it is because someone may cause me my job. But I'd like to know what the need in Edison, why we need a redevelopment authority at this stage of the game when we are overdeveloped right now as it is. Can somebody answer that through the chair? I don't know who to ask. What is the need for a redevelopment authority? Can I ask the attorney through the chair or whoever the redevelopment spokesperson is?
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, the way it works is anyone can ask any question, but the council members or the administration can choose to answer it or not. So when you ask the question, if someone would like to answer...
So I'm not going to get an answer, is that
well, you may. Councilwoman Griffin-Usack just said that she wanted to say something.
Okay.
I'm just going to make a brief statement. I might say something else later. It is my understanding that a redevelopment agency would not overdevelop the town. It would give us a focus group to research, to assist us in reasonable development of areas, not overdevelopment. And that's why it is my understanding and my position that it would help us in those areas. We, as a council, have many, many things to consider. Redevelopment being one of them, a main portion of what we're going to be doing. The plan is up to us. But a redevelopment agency, in my opinion, from what I've read, from the people I've talked to, would help us focus and help us determine and help us to build and redevelop areas appropriately, not overdevelop.
With all due respect, I think you should research it a little more than what you just spoke of. With all due respect. You know, when the gentleman talks bonding, I don't care what kind of bonding you're talking, it's taxes. It's taxes for the taxpayer. We're taxed enough. We're taxed enough, not only in this town, but in this state. We're taxed. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. First time speakers, Ms. Tousman.
Jane Tousman, 14 Butler Road, Edison. I feel just as others do that you're creating another layer of unnecessary bureaucracy. That the state of New Jersey has a lot of problems right now, and they all seem to be stemming from the ability to borrow cash. Giving authorization to unknown entities to bond and borrow. Today, we will pay for these actions. This is a local matter, but you're doing the same thing the state of New Jersey is doing. You're privatizing redevelopment. You're abdicating all responsibility given to you as an advocate. Too much, well, you should have thought of that before you signed up to run for council, as far as I'm concerned. There seems to be no revisions here. You can't even take an initiative and referendum and reverse this thing once you've done it. And the ramifications are many, because basically after it's done, try to undo it. It won't happen. So I would hope that you would consider what others have said about eminent domain and about all the other protections about the bonding, and also about something called tax abatements. Because when you give a tax abatement, we all, as taxpayers, pay more. So I would hope that you would say no to this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Lou Clemency, Sutton's Lane, Edison. Reading a home news article in the literature was given out 2 weeks ago, and they mentioned, for example, DAFCO development in New Brunswick. Now, I'm very surprised the home news was printed knowing it's nothing been done for a year and a half, 2 years now, because it's a corruption, is a scandal, a shakedown, payoffs, and even suicide. Now, this is what happens when you give too much power to one small group of people. Second example, it was mentioned already, New Jersey School Construction Corporation. They wasted $6 billion almost, and nobody responsible, nobody in jail. Our governor renamed the group, give him new name. Now he want to give him another $3.5 billion to waste, and not responsible for nobody. If this group will pass this council, they should not have any more power than give recommendation to the township council, and absolutely no bonding, no eminent domain, and anything else. We don't need a huge bureaucracy here. I think our township was operating pretty good what we had, and they listened, but hope all of you vote no and won't be 4 and 3. Thank you.
Young lady.
Hello, my name is Judith Krall-Russo, and I live at 3 Meyer Road. I, like many others, are totally opposed to this agency. I think this agency will be hand-picked. I think the community will have no say in it. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it because, one, it will cost a lot. Like others, I will not say, again, the eminent domain, the bonding, the money. I think that if we want to see our community, that instead of putting people in an agency that will be handpicked, they most likely will not be from our community, so they won't really care about us. What they will care about is the money that they get as their annual salary. They don't care about this community because they are not part of the community. I know that this gentleman said, I forget which one, the lawyer, but you said there is a statement in there that if they do not do their job, they can be, quote, fired. Is that really a reality? If you want to see how we should redevelop or not develop this community, then we should work on a per-project basis. This way, we hire people, we tell them what we want. If they don't do what we want, then we get rid of them. We don't get people that are handpicked in an agency that we as the community have not had a choice in them, and then how do we get rid of them? If they're not competent, if they don't know what they're doing. This agency, you cannot let happen. It is a big no, and it is a big no and a setback